So the number of active listings, they are up by 70% in Greater Toronto area, and the power of sales, they are up by more than 100% from January 2024 to January 2025. With economic uncertainty, that's primarily because of Donald Trump's looming tariffs, and on top of that, the political instability in the country, buyers are still scared from entering the market and they're missing from the market. In today's video, I'm going to break down what exactly is happening in Toronto's real estate market. And if you get any value out of this content, then please smash that like button, and also please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps the small channel like this to grow. And if you got any questions about real estate, you can book a call with me by clicking on the first link mentioned in the description below. So there is a rise in power of sale. So power of sale is a process that allows the lender or the bank to sell the property when the property owner defaults on their mortgage. So I get a lot of calls from my clients requesting for power of sale listings because there's a perception out there that the power of sales are great deals or an amazing deals in the market. Typically they are not, because first of all, power of sales, when the property is listed under power of sale, they tend to get more traction because they're listed at power of sale. And secondly, the banks are obligated, or the lenders are obligated, to sell the property at the market value. I'm not denying the fact that power of sales, you don't get good deals at all. At times you do get great deals out of them. It depends from case to case. Now, if you look at the data of new listings of power of sale, you can see in the month of January 2025, the power of sales have been at the highest level. And if you do comparison, year-over-year comparison since the beginning of 2020 to 2025, there has been a drastic increase. And if you do a year-over-year comparison, that is 2024 to 25, there's a, in percentage terminology, it's going to be 131% increase. So as of now, there are about like 7,000 to 8,000 active listings in the city of Toronto. So if you look at the bigger picture, out of those 7,000 to 8,000 active listings, there are 331 listings which are under power of sale. So if you look at the bigger picture, it's not a huge concern, but at the same time, I would not deny that this is a concerning issue. So if the number of power of sales continue to go up, that would be a concerning issue totally. So I would definitely keep an eye out on. But what more concerning to me is that the number of active listings have jumped up in the Greater Toronto area from January 2024 to January 2025. So if the active listings continue to go up, then we will see a downward pressure onto the prices. But just to give you a perspective, let's see the data of active listings throughout the 2024. And here you can see this is the data of active listings throughout the year of 2024 of every month. And here you can see the active listings were higher in the spring to summer months of 2024. I'm not denying that we are still not sitting on a higher number of active listings. We are sitting on a higher level of active listings as of today, and the number of sales have come down over the same time period from January 2024 to January 2025. So this goes to show we've had a bad start for the year of 2025, and this also goes to show that the buyers are still not comfortable from entering the market. So if the number of active listings continue to go up and the number of sales don't keep up, or the number of sales come down, we will see a downward pressure onto the prices further. So now I'm going to deep dive into data for city of Toronto, which is south of Steeles to east of Peel region to west of Durham region. So let's get right into it. So here you can see the snapshot of sales for the city of Toronto for all property types. And here you can see in the month of January of 2025, there were 1,422 sales right over here. You can see the transaction volume, and this data is from January 1st of 25 to 31st January of 2025, and for all property types. And you can see on this pie chart, the majority of the sales has happened in the condo market, and then after that is followed by detached properties, semi-detached, and condo townhouses and condos respectively. So this pie chart clearly shows us that there are two types of market which are happening in the city. One is condo market and the other one is freehold market. Condo market, you have lots of opportunities to choose from. You can negotiate on the price point. There's less competition. So basically, we are in a buyer's market when it comes to condo market. But on the flip side, in freehold properties, for detached and especially for semi-detached and townhouses, there is competition. It's more of like to balance market to seller's market, depending from pocket to pocket in the city. But for townhouses, especially and semi-detached, you're going to face some competition if the property is good or if it's a turnkey property. So now let's deep dive into condo market and see what has happened in the city of Toronto in the month of January. So you can see there were 761 sales of condos in the city of Toronto, and the majority of the sales have happened between the price point of $500,000 to $600,000. So 226 condos were sold in the city of Toronto in the year of January, and the second highest sales happened between the price point of $600,000 to $700,000, and 184 condos were sold in this price range. And if you look at the price point of $900,000 and above, you can see the sales tend to come down in condo category, because it makes sense, because people tend to lean towards freehold properties at that price point or beyond that price point. So now let's go ahead and deep dive into detached property side of things. So here you can see in the month of January, there were 347 detached properties which were sold in the city. And out of those, the majority of the action has been happened between the price point of $1 million to $1.25 million. And 89 detached properties were sold within this price range. And the second highest properties which were sold between the price range were between $1.25 million to $1.5 million. And it is interesting to see that 63 properties were sold beyond the price point of 2 million mark. So that's pretty interesting to see. And let's go ahead and check out what's happened on the semi-detached side of things. And one more thing I forgot to mention, the median price in Toronto for detached property we're looking at is just shy of $1.3 million. And for semi-detached properties in the month of January, there were 125 transactions. That's it. And the median price range we're looking at is 1.1 million. And the majority of the semi-detached were sold between the price range of $1 million to $1.25 million. That is 36 semi-detached properties were sold. And second highest semi-detached were sold between the price point of $1.25 million to $1.5 million. So for semi-detached and townhouses, since there is very less supply of these type of properties in the city, there is more competition, because demand is there, but the supply is very, very tight for these type of property types. And also we're seeing a lot of our clients, they're selling their condo and they're trying to move into a bigger space, that is townhouses and semi-detached properties, because they are slightly more affordable as opposed to detached properties. So now moving on to condo townhouses, this is also pretty competitive space, I would say, because there are not many good condo townhouses in the city. But if there are, they are attractive because they give you a blend of a condo and as well as a freehold townhouse, so which is a good thing. And the average price point we're looking at for a condo townhouse is median price point of the condo townhouse in the city we're looking at is $800,000, give and take. And there were 112 condo townhouses which were sold in the city, and the majority of condo townhouses were sold between the price point of $600,000 to $700,000. That's 24. And the same amount of condo townhouses were sold between the price point of $800,000 to $900,000. And last category is townhouses. They're also very, very competitive, as I just mentioned. And the median price point we're looking at is $1 million, $1,050,000. And there were 38 townhouses which were sold in the city. It's very, very tight market in whole of January. And the highest amount of townhouses were sold between the price point of $1 million to $1.25 million. That is 10 townhouses were sold within this price range. So if you're looking for a townhouse in the city, I would recommend areas such as Junction area is a pretty solid area where you can find decent townhouses, or somewhere around Long Branch to Mimico area. There you can find decent townhouses at a competitive price point. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how the market has performed year over year and as well as month over month. So let's get right into it. So here's a trend line of average prices of all property types in Greater Toronto area. And here you can see this is where the market went off the charts. This is the time of February, March, April of 2022. And after that, we can see a downward pressure for about 20 to 25%. And after that, we can see market has kind of leveled off. It has gone through its ups and downs, but you can see it gets kind of leveled out. And if you do a year over year comparison, market has gone up by 1.5% or more or less. To be honest, it has remained flat. But if you do a month over month comparison, it has come down about by 2.5 to 3%. And we'll see what happens down the line, depending upon how the political situation turns out to be in the country, how interest rates play out, and as well as how external factors just south of our border, how those factors play out. So we'll have to see how it turns out. But now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what's happening in downtown Toronto for condos. So let's get right into that. So here's a trend line of benchmark prices for condos since January of 2024 to January of 2025. And here we can see the market has come down by about 8 to 9%, give and take. And if you do a month over month comparison, that is from December 2024 to January 25, market has remained more or less flat. So down the line, we'll see how things pan out. But for condos, I think the market is more or less going to remain flat this year. We won't experience any growth, or we might as well see some downward pressure onto the pricing, but we'll see how things pan out. I hope this was helpful, and I hope I was able to give you some value today. And if you got any questions, you can reach out to me anytime. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.